Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another third video. Last night I did a review on the last episode of Kenobi, and this episode I'm going to highlight what I enjoyed of the episode. And if you guys do not want spoilers, get out of this live, go watch the episode, then come back to this video, because fair warning, I will spoil the some parts of the episode for you guys. Fair warning. So I do love how this episode starts out with we seeing Anakin, but it's more like Anakin when he was a Padawan, like Attack of the Clones version Anakin. And I thought that was pretty cool. Seeing Attack of the Clones Anakin. Like, oh yes. Even though my only complaint about it, seeing the whole flashbacks of Anakin in this episode, and this is more like a nitpick, which I'll also mention what I disliked. But again, I can admit that this is more of a nitpick, because I like this episode, in my opinion, is just a good episode. I feel like they sort of de-aged Anakin a bit, like his face, to make Hayden Christensen's face seem more like his face from Attack of the Clones, because you could see some wrinkles. Like I'm doing this, and you guys can see some like my forehead wrinkling a bit, but like you could tell that he was older in here than he was in Attack of the Clones. And just like I would have enjoyed seeing Anakin like face de-aged a bit. That's my only critique about those flashbacks. Like I said, I can admit that part is of me criticizing that as a nitpick, but I really did enjoy. And I know this is not like the video where, oh, hey, I'm going to say why I dislike the video. I mean, what I dislike about the episode. But I did enjoy the flashbacks though. I really did. I did like the concept of Anakin and Obi-Wan practicing. Anakin, you could see like there was more of that aggression to Anakin, and like he wants to prove himself, as Obi-Wan said. And by the time the flashbacks are done, Obi-Wan said that you're a great warrior, Anakin. But you need to like pretty much get better control of yourself. Otherwise, you will not be knight. Padawan you always be. And so I did like that. I did like the lightsaber. Like I did like the styles that we like the little duel that we saw Anakin and Obi-Wan have. That was pretty cool to see. And I'm happy to see that, like, I know Hayden Christensen isn't a boomer precisely, but I'm happy to see that Hayden Christensen still got the moves. So, that was good to see, and the fight was great, like, in the flashbacks. I know it was practicing, but still, it was great. I think the flashbacks in here definitely helped the episode be more, help me get into the episode more. If that makes sense. So outside of that, I did enjoy the fact that we finally have an answer to why the third sister like what the third sister's intent is, and how she knew Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. Which Obi-Wan does make a good point that if Vader knew, which I don't know if he knew the entire time or he recently found this out, and like, but Vader would have killed, like, would be very protective of his identity. Because if he found out someone knew that he was Anakin Skywalker underneath a Darth Vader suit, yeah, your ass would have been like would have been dead. I'm sorry. Either Darth Vader would have killed you, he would call his troops to kill you, or the Emperor would have killed you if you knew that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. That's how cut close that whole identity is. And so, even though that part alone kind of irks me a bit, I did, like, Reva knowing and Vader doing nothing, I did enjoy we finally getting an answer of how Reva knew that Anakin Skywalker was Vader. It wasn't like, I'm gonna pull a Kylo Ren on you, go into your mind without you knowing. And oh my god, or oh my god, you're Darth Vader. And I mean, you're Anakin Skywalker, Lord Vader. No. She was actually there the night Order 66 happened. And her her modus is to kill Vader because, like I said, she saw Vader without or Anakin's coming down, slaughtering the Jedi. He killed her friends, which I'm pretty sure that he stabbed her as a kid, which I don't know how she survived. So that's something you guys I've seen this episode a second time, and now I'm less sure than when I saw it the first time last night when the episode just hit. So you guys let me know. Let me know if she got stabbed. Because if she did get stabbed as a kid, that's where I would have had issues with. If she didn't, then okay, I can let that go easily. But she pretended to be dead, and that's how she survived. She later joined the Inquisitors, and now she wants to get revenge for what Vader did, and to essentially avenge her friends. And Obi-Wan surrenders, which was after the Reva tells Obi-Wan that, there's this pretty cool fight scene. And then Obi-Wan surrenders, right? And we see this little conversation between Reva and Obi-Wan that I really enjoyed. So that part was cool. About how, oh yeah, you're not bringing me to Vader, I'm bringing him to you. Because he'll be focusing on me, which will give you time to end this hot mess that we've been in for the last 10 years. So essentially, Obi-Wan's hoping the third sister get her revenge. Is that really the Jedi way? Let me know. And so essentially, when Vader comes, the ship takes off. Vader uses the Force to pull down the ship, rip the doors off to look inside, and that, if the hallway scene and the original trilogy did not make me scared of Vader at all. Like the hallway scene in Rogue One and then the original trilogy. If that did not make me scared of Vader at all, this might have made me. And this made me realize, damn, he's definitely a badass over here. But then I kind of chuckled a bit when I saw that was a decoy, and the other ship came off and said, okay, that was cool. I mean, that was cool. But the big part that I laughed at was Vader versus Reva, because Reva tries to kill Vader, And seeing him toy with Refa made me laugh. It honestly made me laugh, and I really enjoyed like seeing that fight. He said, I'm not gonna use my lightsaber. I'm just gonna dodge. Oh, and I'm gonna have my hands pretty much behind my back. Oh, let me get your lightsaber. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, you want to use your lightsaber? Okay. Here you go, chum. That's fight. So he did give her a little chance. But even then, he was trolling her. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then he stabs her. After he had said pretty much in his head, oh yeah, I had enough. I had enough with this. I had my fun. Stab you. And he says, do you really think I wouldn't know, youngling? And then the Grand Inquisitor shows up. The real Grand Inquisitor, not the Third Sister. Because at this point, the Third Sister is the Grand Inquisitor, right? And seeing the Grand Inquisitor, admittedly, maybe go, yes! Because the Grand Inquisitor, he gets killed by Kanan Jarrus. Probably butchered his last name, but I'm sorry. Was in Rebels. Obi-Wan takes place like at least 8 years before Rebels. So when I saw this Third Sister killing him off in the, or preparing to kill him off in the second episode, yeah, I'm gonna have issues with it. But now that he survived, and apparently because he has two stomachs, I don't really have an issue with Redfall stabbing the Grand Inquisitor. Because I honestly thought, I was in that camp where I thought that they were going to retcon the Grand Inquisitor's death. Have him dying here, besides in Rebels. And I'm so happy that they didn't. Which is probably the reason why just seeing the Grand Inquisitor again made me nerd out. And which is why that is like one of the highlights for me of this entire episode. So I'm very, very happy about that. Vader is and then the next part, we see Obi-Wan sense something, and you can tell that he was troubled a bit, and he said, I bet it's nothing. And we see the end of the episode pan out to young Luke Skywalker sleeping. So, hinting the next episode, we finally, after like 5 freaking episodes, going to see Luke, Owen, Beru, Tatooine, finally. Because I'm still, even though I enjoyed this episode, I don't think this episode is the best episode so far. And I know that my review last night, or earlier today, whatever, I gave it a 7.5, but I'm willing to put this as an 8. I still in the camp of, by episode 3, we should have had the end of the Leia arc, and had Obi-Wan at least try to make his way to Tatooine. But nevertheless, of how I would have took the show, this episode, I know I'm listening to positives, and I probably most likely will listen to when I do like what I disliked about the show or my critique about the episode. I will still say this is the best episode, in my opinion, since the first episode. Again, in my opinion. If you guys feel differently, let me know. But that's just my opinion. Don't try to get butthurt because this of my opinion. This is just my opinion. It's okay to have opposing opinions, y'all. But nah, this is great. This is my, like I said, this is my favorite episode since episode 1. And this, honestly, last week's episode, I wasn't too excited. Like, I left off frustrated, and immediately I wasn't too excited about this episode. This episode got me really excited for, like, I should say really excited, but fairly excited for episode 6. Still, there's that part of me that's going to be cautiously optimistic. Because I don't know how the 6th episode's going to be. But, even though I'll admit, part of me is excited to see for episode 6. And then the other part of me is also going to be cautiously optimistic about episode 6. And what I liked in this episode is that it seems like that spark of hope in Obi-Wan seemed to come back. Like, that's something, one of the things I liked about this episode. That spark of hope seemed to have come back in Obi-Wan. Seems. Am I the only one who feels that way? Let me know in the comments, please. But I thought that was, that warmed my heart. I really did. So, anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. I mean, not stream. I'm so used to, like, streaming that that I'm so used to saying I'll end the stream here. So sorry about that. I'm gonna end the video here. So let me know what you guys think about episode 5, 5, which is called part 5. And what do you guys hope episode 6 will bring? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And may the force be with us all.